a lot of the things you say, I just I don't want to get into it too much because you guys just because you just throw things out there without actually making an argument. You just make a metaphor or an example, but an example or a metaphor is not an argument. An argument would be explaining why exactly, let's say, what was the example? Virginity, right?
How about this? What's one thing that's wrong that we haven't made an argument for? Go ahead.
For example, the hierarchy thing. That really stuck with me.
Hierarchy about what?
Correct me, please, if I'm wrong, because I don't want to quote you wrong, so please correct me.
You've been wrong about a bunch of stuff, but that's fine.
Yep.
No, you just don't like the stuff I said. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said men respect or can recognize a hierarchy better than women do, and that's why men function better than women do, right? Because they recognize the hierarchy better.
Men understand competence hierarchies better than women do.
Competence hierarchies.
And we assort ourselves in that way.
Yeah, so that just actually tells me, that's just a premise. Like, how do you explain that?
I can explain that. Can I elaborate on that?
Please.
There's a great book. It's actually written by a woman. It's called How to Play Hardball Like a Man. It explains that the way female children and male children evolve drills in hierarchy. When boys are at unstructured play, meaning they get to go play whatever game they want at recess in primary school, boys play games that require hierarchy. Team sports like football, basketball, you have a position with a clear defined role. There's a captain of the team, someone above you. And there's a such thing as winning. And when you win or lose, it establishes a hierarchy or an imbalance, which boys respect. Conversely, when girls receive unstructured play, they play games that do not require sophisticated teams. They'll play hopscotch. Well, how do you win at hopscotch? You don't. It's not about winning. They play house. They play dolls. How do you win at dolls? You don't win. It's not about winning. It's about the communal experience with one another. And all of the games that they play are egalitarian, meaning there's no hierarchy. There's no hierarchy in hopscotch. There's no hierarchy in playing dolls. And here's the difference between male and female children when observed at play. In a natural state, boys will come to a conflict and they'll say, okay, jump ball, throw the ball up, we'll resolve it that way. They can move the game along. When girls are observed and they have a disagreement at play, you know what they do?
They team up?
They stop playing. They end the game because it's all about the relationship. And if we're not feeling happy about each other, the game has to stop.
Boys are seen to be more active in their play, while girls' play is more sedentary and focused on verbal interactions. Furthermore, boys' play is characterized by higher levels of competition and action, while girls' play is seen to foster creativity and nurturance.
So that's based on research. That's a book called Hardball for Women by Patricia. And I'll give you one last example. I have an organization of men and I have an organization of women. We build a lot of products and services, right? Our women are lovely. They're producing a cookbook, right? And they assign each woman, okay, you give me 3 recipes, you give me 3 recipes, you give me 3 recipes. They kept having situations where they had to contact me to resolve a stalemate because they couldn't resolve it on their own. Why? Because they're egalitarian. They need to bring in someone in a higher position to fix things. And why did they have issues? Well, I don't like your recipe and your recipe makes too much food. This is supposed to be for one person. And well, your recipe, you're Caribbean. Isn't your recipe supposed to be Caribbean? They're micromanaging each other. And when they couldn't agree, they just stop and freeze up. Whereas men, when they come into a disagreement, all right, take a vote. All right, well, he's the boss. We'll just go with what he said. Or he has more experience in this. We'll go with his expertise. Do you understand why we have hierarchy?
And not only that,
that's
women are
interesting.
way more. And if you look at like consumers or whatever, right? Excuse me. If you look at like voters, most women vote Democrat. Why? Because they tend to be, oh, you get $1, you get $1, you get $1. Men are meritocracy based. You did the best job, John. You get $10. Tom, you did the second best job. Here's $7. Like men are able to establish hierarchies and go off of that. Competence hierarchies for men are very important. And then the last example, they did this where they put Survivor, men on an island, women on an island. The men. Quickly, you're going to go fish, you're going to go build a house, you're going to get fire, you're the best at doing this, etc. They put them in roles, and they were able to succeed and build shelter.
Men tend to a report style, meaning they use speech that contains facts, data, and aims to solve problems. They tend to leave out personal information or anecdotes. Women use more of a rapport style that aims toward relationship building.
The women, They didn't even want to kill the fucking animals to eat. I don't know what to do here. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, it's a
This is
pig, it's
why
cute.
men are better deductive problem solvers. That's why every invention that you see, all these modern conveniences, all created by men.
But they're not all created by men. But I don't want to get into
Name
that
one
because
app you use that a woman created.
an app.
A mobile
wow,
app
you
that
good
you
at that?
use that a woman
Okay.
created.
Clue.
Take a piss.
Clue?
Clue. It's a period tracking app.
It's a period tracking
So
app.
there's one
That's a
app.
great example. Here's my point with the difference between men and women. When women become entrepreneurs, they always do businesses that are for women. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a cosmetologist. I do lashes. I do all of these things that benefit women. It's like they can't think beyond their nose. Whereas a man creates a product or service, an entrepreneurial venture, it benefits everyone. Everyone can use it.
But
Do you see the difference?
No, I don't see the difference because a lot of
Oh,
things men
okay.
create have only benefited men. Like look
See,
at the
this is-
safety in
this is the
cars. Can I
issue with,
finish?
like,
Can I
the
finish
chair
one
that-
moment?
hold on,
Look,
you've been
wait,
talking,
I
though.
wanna-
That's the thing.
I
Like,
want to. I just
let
want
other
to say
people
one
talk.
thing.
Go
I
ahead,
just
go
want
ahead,
to
go ahead.
one
Oh,
little
shit.
thing.
Finish.
Thank you. Just one little thing because I really like the way you referenced like the study. That was amazing. But I don't see how
Thank
that is.
you.
You're welcome. But that does not. I don't think that directly translates to any kind of. I don't know what word he used. I think he used competence, like female and male.
Well,
competence.
just let's say
Because-
hierarchy, yeah.
But it's not comparable because their male competence is very important, but so is female competence. As you said, the social aspect was very important, and I'm not saying they're like less important. I'm just saying they're different. So
Yeah, all he's
so
saying is that women don't respect hierarchy. It's like some women, not all women, but women are prone to not acknowledge the fact that, we're not all the same. Some people might be here and we need to treat them as such.
Even from the
Yeah,
beginning
okay,
of time,
interesting, yeah.
survival. Back in the days, it was the man, the woman, and the kids. In religion, what is it? God, man, woman, kids. It's just simple.
And God is a man.
There you go.
but God is not a
Woman.
man. God is not a man.
God
God's
is the
just God.
Father,
I'm just
Son,
talking
Holy Spirit.
shit.
He's just-
I'm just talking
Okay,
shit.
Ariana, go on there.
Relax. Jackson, close up because we're.
Yeah, we
I'm
are.
just gonna say the thing that I've been like consistently noticing with this podcast, and this is I find why it's hard for me personally to make like female friends is I
Got
find
you.
that
Misogyny.
women be lacking accountability. Can't just be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. It's always a
A-word.
fucking
The
argument.
A-word.
It's
She getting
always a
flued out.
fucking argument.
Oh, yeah, she got flued out, man.
And that's why it's hard. And same thing with men though. There's some men that actually can't take accountability. I've dealt with it, and that's a turnoff regardless of like either gender.
Yeah.
I feel like it shows like a lack of intelligence to like be able to not understand another perspective.
You
Oh,
smart.
slick shot.
You
Oh,
loyal.
shit.
Slick shot.
Yo.
You
the one.
important.
Oh, your bag.
Yeah.
Your bag.
But hold on.
Las Vegas?
Here's the other thing too.
You ever been to Las
I wanna
Vegas?
say-
job.
Come
The
through.
reason why she's not that agreeable, you're a fairly masculine woman. I could tell from your demeanor, the way,
Yeah.
and that's not an insult.
And the boxing.
You box, etc.
Yeah.
So you're in a combat sport, so you're in a more masculine state of mind in general, just off of what you do.
And
which
his
is
hand is
fine.
balled up right
you
now.
know, you
Be
tend to be less
careful.
agreeable, etc. But that's what I'm trying to say when I say that in general, like, and that's a non-agreeable trait, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, if we just literally described to you how men and women are very different, and men